Now for part 8 of MLA Style, and it'll be the last part, works cited rules. So here's a few things that we need to know about that. Works cited is the last page of your document. If you have followed the page numbering throughout your essay, then it will be numbered as your last page. It should not appear in a separate document from your essay. Works cited should be centered, and it should appear at the top of the page. It is works cited if you only have one citation on the page. It's works cited with an S if you have more than one citation on the page. Works cited has a capital W and a capital C. Works cited is not bolded, italicized, or underlined. It does not appear in any other larger font. It should still be in Times New Roman 12-point font like the rest of your essay. You should list your entries in alphabetical order by either the author or the title of the pieces. If there is an author, then you always list the entry by their last name. If there is no author, then you list the entry by the title of the piece, referring to that first letter in the piece. For every new entry, you will start the entry all the way to the left of the page. If the entry as typed goes to a second line or more, then you must indent the second line or more. You will need to highlight the second line or more and go to paragraph in the file section. Click on the tiny arrow in the right corner, go to the special, scroll down to hanging and click on OK. You will need to do that for all entries with a second or more line. There is no extra spacing in between each entry. The works cited page should be double spaced like the entire essay. And then how do we gather the information then for that works cited page? There are 9 core elements that we refer to for that works cited page. And they are listed here in this little chart. This is kind of your little cheat sheet where it tells you the order in which things should appear, and then the type of punctuation that should appear after each of these things. So here's what we have. The number one thing that you're always looking for is an author. Once you have the author, then you list that, and then after the author information, you put a period. If there is no author, though, or any other of these core elements as you're going along, if you don't have, then let's see, a title of a container, and you skip it. So if we don't have an author, then we skip that, and then we go to the next default, the next thing that you're looking for in your element, 9 core elements, which is the title of the source. After the title of the source then is listed, then you put a period. The title of the container. So this would be basically where it originally was put, or published, I guess you would say. So if you are viewing an article online that was originally put in a magazine, that would be the title of the container. So this may be some information that is necessary, or it may not be available. If it's not, then you skip over it and go to the next. If you do have to list the title of the container, then after that you put a comma. Then other contributors, if that's something that is available to you, you list that with a comma. The next thing is the version, if there's a version of this thing that's being published, and then a comma after that. Number, comma, publisher, comma, publication date, comma, and then location, and then ending that with a period. The location in this instance is going to be the page number, or if it's something that's online, then the link to that place where this is found. So let's take a look then at a one-page reference to kind of break this down. So out of our core elements here, this first example is showing we have the author's last name first, that's how we list it, comma, first name, and then after it, it said period, so we place our period. The next thing it's asking for is the title of the source, which then we list here. Remember, then this source is the title of a book, so it's italicized, and then we end with a period. Then 3 through 6 We do not have this information, so we skip it. And the very next thing that we go to is the publisher. This is the publisher information. After that, it says put a comma. Then we have the publication date, which is here, comma. Then here is the location of it, page 10. So in the Works Cited page, we put P period, if it's just one page, the number of that page, and then it said end with a period. Okay? Then, if you had multiple pages that you were referring to within a reference, then everything would be the same. So here we go, everything is the same. And then we have multiple pages that we've cited throughout. So then in place of just the P with the period and that one specific page, now we list all of the pages that were referenced here. So we put a double P, period, space, and then we're saying that we cited pages 10 through 12, and then we end it with the proper punctuation like it says at the end of location, which is a period. So those are your rules for the Works Cited page.